He's the pint-sized poacher with a naughty streak. Jermain Defoe bonked lapdancers, bit opponents, and spiked his teammates with Viagra. From bogus weddings to backseat rendezvous, meet England's friskiest forward. Welcome back to The Upshot. My name is Jack. Zach is here as ever.
Hi, Jack.
Hello. And we are welcoming a brand new guest, although not so new because he's been lurking behind the cameras for some time, coming out of the shadows. It is Upshot producer Jack Stewart.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard. Yeah, long time lurker, first time
Big time lurker.
talker.
Yeah, I made one quip once.
How'd it go?
It made the edit, so pretty good.
I mean, you weren't doing the edit.
Yeah, it's been a long awaited debut actually.
Yeah.
We've been pushing it for a while, but finally here on the sofa.
The big
famous
debut,
sofa.
yeah. It should be excellent. I will promise no less than excellence.
That's all we ask for.
Yeah.
I would say, Zach, having done the research for this, that I agree that he's a nice guy, unless you're going out with him.
Yeah, I think generally people have good things to say about him. He does a lot of charity work. Jermain Defoe OBE, we should say.
Yeah.
He was OBE'd, what do you call it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Gonged for his charity work. So yeah, I think he comes across as a nice guy.
Yeah. But yeah,
unless you're going out with him.
There is a naughty streak, as discussed, and there are some hilarious capers that come off it.
Sure, it's all just a misunderstanding.
Just a boob smacking, as we'll see. Yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Take us back.
So Jermain Defoe was born in East London in 1982. He started out playing football for Senrab FC, this pretty famous Sunday League team in East London. It's where John Terry, Ashley Cole, Ledley King, a few others came through. And he ends up joining West Ham's academy when he's 16. So Harry Redknapp is manager at this point. And Jermain's living in digs there alongside Joe Cole, among others. They get up to a bit of mischief together. So Joe Cole tells this story of having his girlfriend over one night. They're about 16 at this point and they're watching a film in bed. But Joe says, in his words, they're doing things 16-year-olds do, which you can probably fill in the gaps yourself. But anyway, this girl's dad arrives at some point to collect her, and Jermain meets him outside. It's like, yeah, just come straight up, leads him up the stairs, bursts straight into Joe Cole's bedroom. And he's just like fumbling around under the covers, like trying to compose himself. And Jermain's just there giggling behind the dad, apparently.
So just a straight up stitch up.
Yeah. I think he knew what he was doing.
Is that the sort of thing where the dad might properly lose it?
Fucking door!
Dragging Joe Cole out by the hair.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much. Maybe there was something.
It was always quite short though, wasn't it? By the fuzz.
Yeah. So, yeah, he had Jermain in 2000, that season, he ends up going on loan to Bournemouth, who are in League One. And he absolutely smashes it there, scores in 10 consecutive games. And the following season, he gets parachuted straight into West Ham's first team squad. Jermain has a great first proper season in the West Ham first team. He's their top goal scorer, despite the fact he's been mostly playing as a sub.
What year is that, sorry?
That would be 2001-2,
right.
That year.
So it's still Harry, just the end of Harry.
No, it's Glenn Roeder, I think, is
about
the manager now.
Shit, isn't it?
Yeah, so the following year, Jermain plays really well again, scores a lot of goals, but despite his best efforts, West Ham are relegated. It's 2003 now, and less than 24 hours after their relegation is confirmed, Defoe hands in a transfer request, which you've got to say is a bit soon.
Yeah.
And he does stay, but they end up selling him the following January to Spurs.
Because this is when West Ham get pillaged for like their star players.
Yeah, there's like...
This is when Joe Cole goes to Chelsea.
Joe Cole goes to Chelsea. Michael Carrick leaves for Spurs as well. Anyway, there's a lot of hype around Defoe when Spurs sign him. He's this young, exciting, quick English striker who scored a lot of goals for West Ham, and instantly he begins to deliver. So he scores on his debut. He's voted Spurs Player of the Year for 2004, and this mid 2000s era is a bit of a golden age for Spurs strikers. Really, they had Defoe, Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Mido as well, who was good.
Briefly really
He was
good.
briefly really good. And maybe all that competition raises the stress levels for Defoe, because in a fiery fixture against his old employers West Ham in 2006, Jermain loses his head and sinks his teeth into Javi Mascherano. Got a clip. Watch this.
Just a nibble on the
I
shoulder.
had no idea that happened.
Tiny bit of contact, and Mascherano has most certainly made the most of it.
I think he's just trying to whisper something in his ear.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
could have happened to anyone, frankly.
Yeah.
But there is an even bigger scandal coming for Defoe, because in 2007, the News of the World revealed that he's been cheating on his fiancée with a girl called Rachel that he'd met at a nightclub in London. So the News of the World articles headlined, "Defoe does the double."
Beautiful.
And it uses a word that I've not heard before or since to describe him. It says Defoe is boobsmacked because he likes big boobs.
Oh, like gobsmacked.
Like, yeah, so it was a terrible pun.
But they're saying
but
what, he saw her boobs and he was boobsmacked.
he was boobsmacked.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Jermain, after seeing Rachel in the nightclub and admiring her 30D boobs, he was boobsmacked.
Boobsmacked.
Yeah.
Now I
Because
understand.
when you first said it, I thought maybe he was going to be smacked in the face with a boob, and it was like a thing that
that
happened
could also
in,
be
he was
the case.
injured.
sort of like motorboating, but it's a more passive experience.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Similar. Sorry,
Mm.
mine's
The
absolutely racing.
the receiving end of a motorboat.
I was falling down a rabbit hole there. Yeah, the receiving end of a motorboat. Yeah, a passive
Yeah,
motorboat.
yeah.
Boobsmacked. Is that the headline? Or just
Boobsmacked. This was just a line from the article, but the whole thing is it's basically a kiss and tell with her. So she says, "He was mesmerised by my 30D boobs. In fact, he talked about my breast a lot. All the time, he kept complimenting me about my boobs. He said they must be fake because they are so huge."
but they're not. Is her point, I guess. I mean, let's not dwell on the boobs too much, but she's
Yeah.
saying they're not fake.
They're not fake. Oh no, they're not. No,
That is
no,
boob
not at all.
smacking.
That
Can
is,
it be
yeah.
boob smacking? Yeah, I guess. Oh, I'm boob smacked at that.
Oh,
Yeah. Rachel also goes on to give quite a graphic description of Defoe's manhood. So she said, he used to have a nickname for his thing. He wasn't very modest and he always called it the Hulk. It was quite distinctive because he has a strange skin pigmentation down there, which means it's the colours of Neapolitan ice cream.
Oh my god.
So that's chocolate, vanilla, and
Chocolate, vanilla,
strawberry.
strawberry. Yeah.
Does she mean in the vertical stripes?
I presume so.
That's
If it
fascinating.
looks, yeah, I've never seen a
Sounds
knob
delicious.
like it.
I'm just trying to. I reckon it's more likely to be horizontal stripes, and there's 3 sections, and that. Sorry to do
Like a
this.
tricolour.
Yeah, it's sort of flying the flag.
Sure.
I'm thinking maybe the head is like the. I don't know. Is pink? I don't know.
Yeah.
Which
It's-
else would be, so.
Yeah,
be the head, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never
It's
seen a
interesting.
Neapolitan knob before. Don't even really. You don't see the ice cream that often anymore.
No, is it? Yeah. Do you think that's is it
Middle
off-putting?
aisle of Lidl, probably.
Yeah, you can probably get it. It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's probably referred to as like a different region of Italy. Though.
I don't think I'm ever going to look at Neapolitan ice cream in the same way.
Has that ever been mentioned before or since about Jermain Defoe, or indeed anyone?
I've never heard it before.
Neapolitan knobs. That's 2 things I've never heard before, both in this article.
It's a good album name.
Yeah, Neapolitan knobs, or boob smacked. Is the first.
Smacked.
That's the debut.
That's the first track
debut
on the album.
EP.
Yeah.
It's very thin, but it's got a big, thick crust.
Oh god.
The other thing is, I feel like this era, so we're in the noughties. We've obviously read a lot of these kiss and tells. It's quite common that footballers have a nickname for their dick, and I don't think you hear about that anymore. Well, rightly so, because it's fucking childish.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? That's the Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk is...
How far are you taking that nickname? Is it like while you're shagging, you're being like, "Do you like the Hulk?"
Do you like the Hulk? Yeah. I think he's...
The Hulk is angry.
And you won't like him when he's angry.
Yeah.
Hulk smacks.
I wonder if... Do some of them give them like human names?
Yeah.
Because those are always my favourite
what,
like pet names is when people give them unusual human names.
Oh, like Bruce, Steve,
yeah.
Ian.
My cat RIP was called Maurice,
Maurice,
which was good.
quite nice.
Great name for a penis.
That sort of makes
Yeah.
me picture a man in like a roll neck jumper, Maurice.
Maurice.
sort of like East End kind of camp, inexplicably. Got a picture of it.
Maurice is Roy Keane's middle name as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think he would say Morris.
We've discussed this.
Yeah, we discussed this.
Yeah.
Roy Keane is Morris. And Roy Keane would not have a nickname for his cock. Do you agree? Having a nickname for your cock is a bit like, I don't know why, but I think it's like someone who's been a bit babied by their mother. And now they need like these sort of just like,
yeah, it's quite infantilizing.
yeah, I don't know why I'm getting Freud about this.
Hmm.
But something about that to me screams like, grow up.
yeah. What if your mum calls it your winky? Or
Yeah,
something
maybe
like
it's that. I don't know. It's just like the need for a pet name for your dick. It's like, stop humanizing it.
Yeah.
It's a Neapolitan knob,
Well,
and you are
if you had a
boobsmacked.
hulk, if you had a hulk of a penis, you'd have a nickname.
I don't think you need one. If you've got a
True.
big cock, why do you need a
True.
nickname that means it's big?
Mm.
It's not a fucking 1910s shipping vessel. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other names. You do hear quite often the same sort of names around.
Yeah, they're never that imaginative.
If he'd come up with a Neapolitan character, Maradona,
Yeah.
say, or I don't know, someone from Talented Mr. Ripley, that would have been good. Or
Mm.
an ice cream seller name. If it was called like Minghella. Anyway.
Mine's the pecan.
Yeah. did you make the pecan? Yeah, what flavour has he got? Probably vanilla, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Mine's a mini milk. A vanilla mini milk.
Fish food.
Onwards and upwards, though. And it's now the summer of 2007 when Spurs make the quite surprising signing of Darren Bent for 16 million quid, which is quite a lot at the time. I mean, he was good for Charlton.
A bit of a like for like, fast.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
good
odd because I
finisher.
think Defoe was Defoe a bit injury prone at this point.
Mm.
He has had quite a lot of injuries.
Yeah, he'd been in and out of the team for Spurs as well because they had these other good strikers I was mentioning before.
Maybe they're just going for a depth thing. But anyway, Jermaine's suddenly in competition for his place, and he publicly says, I'm going to stay and fight for my place. But by the end of 2007, he's getting a bit sick of basically being rotated around with the other strikers. And then a call comes from an old friend. Jermaine, it's Harry. Come and join me at Portsmouth. And it's Harry Redknapp. Yeah, so he's Pompey manager. And this is quite a different Portsmouth, certainly, than the one we know today. So they're kind of like reliably mid-table. Harry Redknapp's at the helm. They've got quite a good squad. You know, they've been spending a lot of money, which will ultimately be their downfall. And Jermaine, you know, he's already worked with Harry at West Ham, where he thoroughly enjoyed himself. And so he thinks, do you know what? I'm going to head off. I'm sick of playing second fiddle to Darren Bent. So he goes and has talks with Portsmouth, and it's all looking good until this cosy reunion between him and Harry is disrupted when contract talks get serious. And Jermaine's mum, Sandra, she's in there with his agent. She's very involved, which is quite common.
Is this again going back to his why he's still
This is where
calling
you
his
got your
cock
theory. You
the whole-
researched this part. And
Totally concocted. No, he's got a nickname for his Willie, and his mum does his contract talks. Anyway, so Sandra, she apparently is insistent that Jermaine should get a goal bonus on top of his salary, which at the time is, you know, now it's standard, but at the time it's like a relatively new thing. And Harry Redknapp isn't impressed. His reaction, as he recalls later, was, a goal bonus? He's a striker. What do you think we'll be paying him 50 grand a week for, to fucking miss him?
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Like, why is it, you can't be demanding a goal bonus.
Mm.
I don't get a
That's-
bonus every time I put up an Instagram reel, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if
I should have my mum in my negotiation.
Yeah, if your mum had only come
Yeah.
to the contract talks. Yeah, but they are standard now, aren't they? It's weird.
Yeah.
It is your job.
That is
It
what
is
you're
literally
it's
your
literally what you've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Anyway, this is free spending Portsmouth, so I think they just agree. The deal gets done, and Jermain Defoe heads to the South Coast, and they have a huge season. This is the season that Portsmouth win the FA Cup. So they get to the final, and then it's Cardiff, which is a decent draw, and they win 1-0. Unfortunately, Jermaine plays no part because he's cup tied, so he does not play in the
Oh,
FA
that's
Cup for
sad.
Portsmouth. But he was there. He's around
He's
it.
near the FA Cup. He actually doesn't win a lot of trophies throughout his whole career, does he?
He
wins.
has,
I think he wins the League Cup with Spurs later.
yeah, but again,
And
he's
then-
injured for the final.
Oh, really? Okay.
He has an unfortunate
Yeah.
thing of like being ruled out for big games. He wins the title with Rangers.
Yeah.
As we'll come on to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's no part of the Pompey FA Cup winning team, but it's nice to be around it. And he's still the following season banging them in for Portsmouth. He's a really good, reliable striker. As for Harry Redknapp, he is the first to realise that Portsmouth's castle is built on sand and they are spending way beyond their means and are about to have to start flogging all their players. So Harry's, starting to think about jumping ship when a call comes in from Tottenham Hotspur, who snap him up as manager. So he hot-foots it over there. And for Defoe, things are starting to look a bit wrong. There's talk that the club maybe can't afford all these players. His mentor's left, and pretty soon he's agitating for a move as well. And in the January transfer window that year, so only a year after he joined Portsmouth, Harry swoops for him and for the third time signs him.
God, Harry loves just re-signing a player, doesn't
Who
he?
are the others?
Nico Cranshaw.
Yeah,
Classic.
Cranshaw.
Um,
Benoit Asuakoto as well. He had in 2 clubs, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
He had him at QPR as well, didn't he?
Peter Crouch as well.
Peter Crouch, yeah.
Crouch, yeah.
I actually get it. Eddie Howe's a bit like that.
Mm,
If you've worked with him before, you know you can trust
yeah.
him. If you're that sort of manager who's like really involved,
Ten
on
Hag
a,
and Anthony.
yeah, Ten Hag. Yeah, less successfully, Eric Ten Hag. So back to Tottenham he goes. You notice Jermain Defoe usually moves in the January transfer window, which is quite rare, I think. But he's the sort of player you would buy in January, I think, because he's just going to come and give you some goals immediately.
Yeah.
Anyway, he does very well at Spurs in his second spell. The 09-10 season is probably his best. Scores 24 goals, including 3 hat-tricks, one of which is 5 goals against Wigan.
5 in one game.
Yeah, in
Wow.
one game. I think at the time he's only the 3rd player to do it, Shearer and Andy Cole.
Mm.
And then later Berbatov and someone else. He's playing regularly for England at this point, which of course you wouldn't have missed a game of that.
I am a big fan of England, of course.
The 3 Lions.
It's 3, is it?
Those Lions.
those odd lines.
Yeah, Jermaine. So he's like, I don't know if you'd say he's like first choice striker because obviously you got Rooney, but he's
Yeah.
sometimes paired with him, off and off the bench. He's very much like a key part of every squad, and very much one of the lads as well. Him and Rooney and the other senior players, they're all really matey. And when fellow striker Carlton Cole is called up for a friendly in 2009 against Spain, Jermaine and Wayne Rooney decide that he is the perfect character to play a little prank on because Carlton's quite like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, enthusiastic. He's up for anything. And so in the dressing room before they run out for training, Jermaine and Wayne take him aside and are like, Carlton, do you want some vitamins? They'll really help. And Carlton's like, oh yeah, I'm big on vitamins. Yeah. So they hand him a little blue pill, which of course was Viagra. And poor old Carlton swallows it, and within about 30 to 45 minutes, he is left with a big old boner. He has to stagger through training with an erection that lasts 3 hours, he says.
Wow.
So
That can't be very helpful when you're trying to run around, I imagine.
no.
Just mark someone
Tuck
at a
it.
corner.
Yeah,
Get
well,
it
it's
into
quite
the-
good for putting them off, isn't it? Poking them in the back. It's probably a crime, but is it Erling Haaland who farts at corners?
Yeah.
I think having a boner pressed into you would be more
That
off-putting.
would be, yeah.
a
You'd
little
give the
worse.
defender some space. Or the attacker, actually, I should say. Yeah, it's perfect for a striker. Carlton said later about it, he said, the stonker was there. I wasn't sexually aroused, but it was just there. And then he said, I was the quickest person around that pitch. I had 3 legs. Which makes me think he's told that story before.
The Hulk and the Stonker.
Yeah, the stonker's a good name for a bone,
Yeah.
for a cock. Yeah, so quite a good nature prank, I guess. Quite a weird one, I suppose. Probably a crime.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
I-
Again,
yeah.
just, misunderstanding.
You probably shouldn't be, especially as a professional sportsman, just taking random pills from people who don't.
Yeah, what if it had been like an ecstasy tablet?
Yeah.
Or steroids got banned. from
Yeah, I think Viagra's. It's quite funny that's just knocking around as well. I do
Yeah.
remember a phase of like people having it on nights out as a joke.
Viagra,
Yeah,
spiking people with it.
not
or-
spiking, but just like
lines of it.
taking it and
Yeah.
finding it funny.
Mm.
I won't go into details.
Where it said 30 to 45 minutes, that was research, or did you happen to?
Roughly. My experience. Anyway, Carlton's not the only one swinging his horrible boner around where it's not wanted, because Jermaine is at it too. In 2012, he begins probably his only sort of like celeb relationship. He goes out with Alexandra Burke, who is the X Factor winner.
God, there's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I actually rewatched one of her songs just now. I'd
Any
sort of
good?
forgotten. Yeah, it's quite like of its time, sort of R&B pop. You know, she's got one with Flow Rider, one with Neo.
Okay.
All the comments are like, how did she not get bigger? But it's like, it's quite like a dated genre now, I think.
Yeah. That's
She's good. She's
Quite
talented.
emotional, sort of talent show song
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. She's definitely not bad. I don't know what
Yeah.
she's up to now. But anyway, they're having like it's a relatively brief relationship, but it's she describes him as my best friend, you know, that sort of thing.
Right.
She's head over heels until Jermain is accused once again of doing the dirty. So the tabloids published an interview with a nurse called Kirsty Crummy, who says that they've been shagging. She says that they met on Facebook, which is kind of sweet now, actually, isn't it? How do you meet on Facebook? You just see them in a group or something.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like
Yeah.
mutual friends.
Got poked.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
Poked by the Hulk.
yeah, with Carlton.
Out of corner.
Hopefully
Yeah.
not by Carlton Stonker. But like, how do you even come across random people on Facebook? Do they just DM you maybe? I don't know. Who knows? But what happens next, according to Kirsty, is that Jermain begged and pestered her for explicit photos and asked her for a threesome. I've noticed a standard
Yeah.
tabloid device is if someone asks for something, they begged. So take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, she says they had an affair. Jermain's actually quite unkind in his response because he tweets and basically says, he points out that Kirsty bears a slight resemblance to the comedian Peter Kay and just says, apparently I'm shagging Peter Kay, which is mean and wrong. But I do think is quite a clever defense if you are shagging her, because like surely no one would be that rude. And I think it probably buys him some time with Alexandra Burke. Unfortunately, there are then more cheating allegations, and eventually Alexandra's had enough and she dumps him. And she then writes a song slagging him off, which includes a lyric, "You're used to fucking substitutes," which is sort of wordplay on cheating, but also warming the bench. It kind of works.
Yeah. It's also it's a dig at him, isn't it? Really.
Well, yeah.
Well, that mean the whole scene.
The whole song is,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
The other lyrics were a bit more just like, I thought you were my friend. It was a bit sad, but I enjoyed that little dig. Not sure Jermain did. Anyway, he's onwards and upwards. He has a great Tottenham career. There's regular sort of top six finishes. There are Champions League games. Again, this thing of like, when you look at a big game, he's weirdly absent. So like, I don't think he was in that famous Inter Milan two-legger where when you came back from like 4-1 to 4-3 and it was in a way felt like a win. Do you remember that? Bale just shredded Maicon and then the home leg Tottenham won 3-1. That was like Bale becoming a megastar.
Yeah.
Anyway, as for Jermain, by 2014 it's time to move on. He's had two great stints at Tottenham by this point, both of them like sort of 150 games each. He scored more than 100 goals for the club, but there's a bit of a sense he's probably lost his pace by this point. He isn't quite the player that they want going into big Champions League challenges. You've probably got the likes of Harry Kane starting to come
Taught him
through.
everything he knows.
Yeah. So for Jermain though, it's not like he's in a bad place. There's plenty of clubs in the Premier League who will have him, and might be a great move. Maybe he'll go back to West Ham. Michael Laudrup's doing some quite exciting things at Swansea, but then Jermain gets a phone call. Hello, is this Jermain Defoe? Yeah, who's this? This is Drake. Yes, it is Canadian rap sensation Drake. Hotline Bling star.
Yeah.
What's he want?
You used to call me on your cell phone. Yeah, Drake, it turns out, when he's not recording, he's already getting quite big at this point.
Yeah, he's quite. I don't know if was he a big Defoe head before, because he's very into
Defoe.
British culture, isn't he? He loves,
yeah.
loves his grime.
And he funded Top Boy, the series.
Yeah.
He saw the first two series and then approached them like it was 10 years later and basically was like, I'll pay for you to make more. Yeah, he likes like English culture, I guess I'd call it. I don't really know.
Anglophile.
Yeah, he's an Anglophile. And if you are an Anglophile living in Toronto,
He named himself after Sir Francis Drake, I think. That's why. That much.
that's how much he lionises English culture. Much like you, Jack.
Oh
Yeah.
just the same.
What's the curry favour with Elizabeth I?
Which one is Sir Francis Drake? He's not the potato guy, is he?
No, Francis Drake, he was...
Is he an explorer?
He was
Is
an explorer,
is Walter
yeah.
Raleigh the one
It's
who brought the
Walter-
potato back?
don't know. That era, though.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. one of your heroes.
Oh yeah.
And one of Drake's.
I thought Sir Walter Raleigh made bikes or something.
Yeah, probably
no
same
idea.
family. Drake, obviously, besides Sir Francis and, Richard Attenborough and Elizabeth II, his other great hero is a little-known English striker by the name of Jermain Defoe, who he's always loved. And Drake is working as an ambassador for Major League Soccer side Toronto FC, who are on the hunt for a new striker. So when they hear that Defoe's moving on from Tottenham, they swoop. And, sending in Drake is a masterstroke.
What is it about Defoe that's just
Irresistible.
Yeah, why?
He's pretty fucking handy, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably in the MLS, like he was still relatively
Young.
How old was he about that point? He was probably
32,
33 or something.
Yeah, he's like only 42 now.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, about that, early 30s.
Early 30s, so he'd do a job in the MLS.
Yeah. Well, he does. So when Drake calls, you come.
Yeah.
So he heads straight over to Canada and he bangs in, I think it's 11 goals in 14 games. So got their money's worth. But despite being prolific on the pitch, he does struggle to settle into a life of maple syrup, dog shit teammates, and unnervingly pleasant locals. Anyway, so after a year there, he is soon agitating for a move back to Britain. And so, Toronto, it's a cosmopolitan city. For all its faults, it's a very pleasant place. There's only one place you can head after that, Wearside, because Dick Advocaat's Sunderland have come calling.
And clearly the hectic pace of life on Wearside is a bit much for Jermain, because shortly after joining, he puts up an ad for a personal assistant. So you might be wondering what a personal assistant to a Premier League footballer, what that job might entail. Maybe sorting out his calendar, replying to some emails, booking hotels. But it turns out Defoe is a slightly more demanding boss. So this is the advert he posted. It says, here's what the 60k job will involve. Manage and organise calendars for individual family members. Create an inventory for holiday villas. So kind of standard stuff. Then it gets a little bit more exacting. Create a global brand for the Jermain Defoe name. Book all social events such as theatres, concerts, cinema and musicals. Create Defoe's own clothing line / fragrance for sale on his website. Select and organise his wardrobe. Produce Defoe's own iPhone apps. So you need to be a coder as well as sort of a clothing designer.
Brand guru as well.
Yeah. Grow his online database and social networking platforms, and be flexible to travel abroad and across the country throughout the year at short notice and on call 24/7.
That's like 4 jobs.
What would the Defoe iPhone app do?
Great question.
Yeah, it's
You can engage with his global brand.
you can engage with his global
right.
brand.
So
Yeah.
it generates penis names.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It's just like, once you finished off the clothing line this afternoon, do you reckon you could just knock up a global brand for us?
And then code the app.
Yeah, and once they code the apps as well, obviously.
And also come up with the app idea.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have no idea what the app would do. Highlights.
Yeah.
Also, when you're talking about the managed calendars for family members, which looks like it's like his mum and dad and siblings, and then it also says family pets. You don't manage their fucking calendar.
I have no idea what's this.
Where was this ad placed? Where was it placed?
On his
I
app.
don't know. It's
On the Jermain Defoe app.
It's a very circular.
Yeah, that's what you go there for, to get the chance to work with him on his brand. I wish he'd done a fragrance. I think that would have been fun.
Have any of these things happened?
I think the whoever he hired is slacking a bit, because I'm yet to see the Defoe clothing
Yeah.
range.
Tell you
Maybe
what,
they're working with the app first, and then
yeah.
obviously once that's done, then
Yeah.
the clothing line, the fragrance, and the global brand will follow.
Do you know that dog's
it'll fall into
calendar
place.
is
Yeah.
seriously well color coded.
Yeah.
That's literally 5 jobs for as a team.
Yeah.
24-hour short notice on call as well. Like
Christmas Day, you get a call. Can you update the app?
We're gonna need another app.
Can you knock up that global brand now?
To be honest, though, Defoe could probably do with a personal assistant to help with his chat up lines. Because around this time, there's a pot bitch story about him meeting this woman at a charity function for Sunderland. And apparently over the next few weeks, he'd text her each Friday asking if she'd like to come and see him. And the two things that he always sent to entice her, number one, dick pics, and number two, free tickets to a Sunderland game.
Which would you rather?
Yeah.
Well, this was the season that they
No.
got relegated, so not entirely sure which one of those prospects was more unappealing.
Is that like a dick pic is sort of a greeting in that context? It sounds like it is just like occasionally you'll get in touch and it's just like dick pic and you're in row B, block 7.
She just thinks she's getting a picture of some ice cream, though.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice day out, Sunderland, frankly.
I do feel hungry now. Not in a hot way.
Something sweet.
So it's also during this spell that Jermain befriends Bradley Lowery, the kid who was ill with, he had a rare form of cancer. He was a Sunderland fan. And Jermain comes out of this really well. He met Bradley when he was a mascot for a Sunderland game, and Jermain was captain. And they strike up this friendship. Defoe visits him a lot, takes him to games and events. It was really lovely and genuine.
He's like a 6-year-old boy, right? Yeah.
6-year-old boy, yeah. But Defoe really goes above and beyond, I think, for him. I think he's still in touch with his family.
No, he is, yeah. Because we should say that like a lot of footballers do like a lot of like actually really impressive charity work with their free time that they don't have to do, including like, like someone like John Terry actually does a lot of like really good stuff. But even I think it's worth mentioning because we always tell the other side of their lives. But even by those standards, Jermain Defoe is sort of like, I don't know, it just felt like a genuine friendship with Bradley. And
John
his family.
Terry stands on the end of the hospital bed and pisses into a glass to entertain the
It's what they want to see. That'll be my Make-A-Wish request.
Yeah.
I think John Terry is actually really good on it, but like loads of players are. They're pretty amazing. But Jermain Defoe also, prior to this, had set up like a charitable foundation where he gives a lot of money to kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what the specific focus is, but he's
he
a good
does.
guy.
He does a lot of really good work. I think he's deep down a really good person.
Yeah. Apart from the shagging. Anyway.
Apart from the shagging. And
verdicts later.
Yeah. I get the feeling as well that he's not popular with every local family in Sunderland, though, because around this time he's accused of breaking up a couple of marriages.
Oh,
so
there it is.
first, the press report that Jermain has hooked up with this Geordie lap dancer, who then ends up dumping her husband in an Asda car park and moving in with Defoe.
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
the
tough
car
on,
park kind
tough
of
on,
stuff.
tough on the guy. It was on Valentine's Day as well.
No.
Oh.
What? Is that because he was being romantic and she was like, I can't do this anymore?
or
Yeah,
maybe
I
because
think-
he
I
brought her
think
to
they- I think
Asda for Valentine's Day.
Final straw.
Yeah.
Asda
I've got these
flowers.
coupons.
Yeah.
They go off today. We come at the end of the day, the flowers are actually cheaper.
He did have a
Reduce.
rose.
Yeah.
Reduce section, yeah.
It's like Christmas Day turkey shopping.
Yeah. I think apparently he did. I think they were like on a break, and then they'd arranged to meet up on the neutral ground of Asda
It's
car
nowhere
park.
good to get dumped. Were they married?
They were married.
It's
Yeah.
nowhere good to dump your
Yeah.
husband, but not an Asda car park on Valentine's Day.
Also, I quite enjoyed the angle that the press had, was that they'd apparently spoken to pals of this bloke who said that he was especially pissed off because he was a Newcastle fan. Which does twist the knife a bit. It's like, not only has your wife left you, but she's left you for the star striker of your hated rivals.
Can you imagine every time Jermain Defoe scores, you see it, like you're just in the pub or whatever, match of the day, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's not good. And then a year later, the Heart FM radio presenter Ben Weston accuses Defoe of having an affair with his wife. So apparently she was a hot tub saleswoman, and Defoe had come into her showroom to take a look at the tubs, and they'd ended up shagging.
What do you think it was like? I mean, that sounds like a porn film. Why don't we try it out?
Yeah.
Get the bubbles going. Imagine if you walked into a hot tub warehouse, whatever they're called, shop, and Jermain Defoe was shagging the salesperson in a bubbly bar.
Yeah.
Neapolitan ice cream knob just poking above the surface of the water.
Yeah.
His PA's in the car knocking up a global brand. Shit. Was it? Did he?
Defoe. I don't think he denies that they hooked up, but he says that he had nothing to do with the breakup of their marriage. And she actually says that she left Ben Weston for other reasons,
which we won't get into. Yeah. Anyway, Sunderland, as you say, they end up relegated. That's the David Moyes season, which we've done an episode on Sunderland where we get into all that. But while Jermain is staring down the barrel of a season in the Championship, there is some good news because this is the year he gets his OBE for his charity work. So it's good news. And he quickly heads off from Sunderland, who I think they need to offload expensive players. He has a stint at Bournemouth, and then of course Rangers. He goes to Rangers where he wins the league. I mean,
Steven Gerrard is his manager, right?
Is he? Yeah.
Must be, yeah.
Sort of 2020, 21.
Yeah, that was because it was their first. Well, Celtic had won 9 in a row, was it? And then Rangers
It's a seriously long career if he was playing at West Ham in 2000.
Yeah. And he only finished playing like a couple of years ago. Yeah. So he does win the league. I think his appearances are relatively limited.
He went vegan around this time, 2017, to prolong his career.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That worked. He had a long career.
Yeah.
But he does hang up his boots, which means at the end of his career, the numbers are pretty good. He scored 163 Premier League goals in just under 500 games, 496. And he played for England 57 times, scored 20 goals.
That's a good return.
Good career. Especially, I think, he came off the bench a lot, particularly for England, but just in general he would. So those numbers are almost better than they look. But retirement is where the scandals really start to kick off. So in 2021, while he's still, finishing up with Rangers, Jermain finds love with beauty therapist Donna Tierney. And it's a pretty whirlwind romance. Within 7 months, he's proposed. Apparently, he books a hotel room. She walks in and he spelled out the word "marry me" in candles. Yeah, it's really romantic
He'd
stuff.
seen that in a wedding magazine.
Yeah.
His PA was very busy doing that.
Just lighting them one by one.
There's no way he did that, is there?
Well, I think you can pay the hotel. Maybe
Right,
I mean, it's his long-suffering PA.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all
Just called her like some stupid hour of
2
the
a.m.
morning.
you head over to the hotel. And he follows it up with an even more romantic ceremony. So in 2022, they tie the knot in a lavish 200 grand wedding ceremony at Clifton House, which is this Berkshire country house, famous one. It's where Meghan stayed the night before the royal wedding. It's the scene of the Profumo scandal, that like famous scandal that rocked English society in the 1960s.
What was that again?
A couple of blank looks on your faces.
Oh,
A
no,
government
I know.
minister a government member of the cabinet slept with an escort at Clifton House who turned out to be dating a Russian spy. So it was a sex scandal, but it was actually also a spying security issue.
Okay.
And I can't remember what happened next, but he lost his job. It was a huge establishment scandal.
You remember it well.
Of course, yeah. 1963, if I had to guess. Cold War paranoia meets fruity 60s shagging.
Sounds great.
What a time to
Ooh,
be
maybe
alive.
Groovy.
You can see why Jermain Defoe was attracted to the house. Anyway, the ceremony, gorgeous. We're looking at some of the beautiful pics that were splashed all over OK Magazine.
God, roses everywhere.
Roses everywhere. He's in white tie, is that? A white jacket. It's a black tie, I don't really know. She's in a lovely dress, lacy detail on the arm.
Is this what people want to hear?
Suddenly we're watching Loose Women.
Wonderful texturing down the side
It's
of
a
the...
gorgeous pic, a happy couple. But
Who's she wearing?
she's wearing Jermain Defoe's global brand. You can imagine his PA the night before on the sewing machine with like lace, making a corsage. Anyway, sadly, it's all about to turn predictably pear-shaped. So just a month after the ceremony, Jermain Defoe, OBE, is exposed by the tabloids once again for propositioning a nurse for a shag in his Range Rover. So I think it's not the first nurse we've had in this story. But
No, he's got a thing.
yeah,
In his Range Rover.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wants her to come and shag in the car. Which can I just say, I've never seen the appeal of shagging in cars.
No.
Range Rover.
I mean,
big
Range
though.
Rover, if you've got to do it,
Yeah.
then
Why?
Range
'Cause
Rover's
it's big,
probably
yeah,
spacious.
space.
Yeah.
But like, I guess you've got to be the
Wide
sort of
clean
person who's-
seats.
If you're cheating on someone, I guess you're not doing it in your
Yeah, but you've got to be slightly excited by the idea that like you might get caught. I think. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit exhibitionist, but for me, not enough space in there.
That's your problem with this situation.
What's wrong with missionary with socks on and the lights off? Anyway, he's done once again by the tabloids. He's had pretty bad luck with kiss and tells, you'd have to say, and that's it. Donna calls the marriage off, and you know, it's pretty sad. He's just got married for the first time. But fortunately, Jermain isn't facing any long, drawn-out divorce proceedings because it turns out that the entire wedding ceremony was, in fact, a sham acted out for the hacks at OK Magazine after Jermain and Donna couldn't agree the terms of their prenup. So they were going to get married, but then they couldn't agree their prenup. But OK Magazine had basically offered them all this cash to get married and have the photos in the magazine. So they just went through the motions, did a wedding.
So he's not even cheating here. This is just...
Well, I mean, he's cheating. They are a couple. They still want to be together, but they're not married.
Right.
I kind of rate that. Yeah. They still get to have the fun. They get their big day.
Yeah, it's just a fake ceremony. Which is, I quite rate it. And actually, do you think OK Magazine mind? They get their pics.
Yeah, like if it comes out later, they've flogged their magazines. They're flying off the shelves. Everyone wants to get a pic of the inside scoop on Defoe's wedding.
Inside scoop.
Defoe and Donna.
Neapolitan scoop. Yeah. I can't imagine it's great for Donna, sort of like, you know, that moment before you walk down the aisle with your dad and it's like, he's getting a bit teary. I can't believe my little girl's getting hitched. And in her head, she's like, it is a sham wedding. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, OK Magazine hitched. Yeah. Anyway, so it does make calling it all off a bit simpler. And having broken up with Donna, Jermain goes on a shagging rampage. So first off, he jets off with this influencer, Alicia, who had actually been a guest at the wedding. And he'd actually, it turns out, been having an affair with all along. So besides the nursey proposition, he'd been shagging Alicia. I mean, he'd basically been going out with her. So Donna, the one who he was marrying but didn't marry, if you're still following, she later found some love letters between Jermain and Alicia, which she posted on Instagram. And the one from Alicia's like, happy birthday, Jermain. Can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together.
And then she rocked up at the wedding.
And then she went to this world is warped. It's a bit like the Rodri Giggs description as well. So Alicia is writing letters like that to Jermain, and then she's going to his wedding, which I guess she knew it was a sham. And then he's ditching the wedding, and they're fucking off for a fling. And then at the same time, Defoe also shacks up with a woman called Paige, who happens to be a wedding planner, which.
Not his wedding planner?
No, not his wedding planner, but just...
Paige, Donna, Alicia, they just sound like names that they're having affairs with people. You know, it's just... Their proper Donna is such a sitcom affair name, isn't it? It's just
It's a modern day for weddings and funerals. I mean, in a way, you know, we've talked about Jermain Defoe being a hopeless romantic. You can kind of see it with this. It's like he wants the big wedding day. He wants to be with a wedding planner.
Yeah. Do you think that's how they bonded? Was just
we both have a love of, you know,
speaking about like which car do you dream of having? The tin card,
the stationery, all of it. The song, the first dance. I kind of see it. He's like, and he's promising these people the world. Want to spend our lives together. You can sort of picture him like guzzling red wine and Lindor chocolates, crying himself to sleep in front of Love Actually for the 17th time.
It's a key part of his global brand.
The global brand involves being a romantic figure. So I mean, there's a lot of coverage in the press at this point of him just like openly dating both Paige, the wedding planner, and Alicia, the influencer. It's like one day he'll be pictured kissing one, the next day the other. So I guess they know about each other, and in the end he decides to take the obvious step, which is inviting both Alicia and Paige to shack up with him in his North London gaff and join his throuple. So we've talked about throuples before on this pod because among the proponents are Ronaldinho, who lived with I think at one point 3 different girlfriends at the same time. Adriano, the Brazilian footballer, it wasn't technically a throuple. He installed them both in next door rooms to him in the hotel and didn't tell them about each other. And David Hay, the boxer, who he had a throuple and he actually he cycled one member out and cycled a new one in. It's sort of
crop rotation.
Yeah, it's rotation. It's a bit like a Jermain Defoe as a footballer. It's like squad rotation. It's like the Sugar Babes. None of the original lineup remain, but it's still the Sugar Babes.
Gonna bring on Mido now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's varying reports about how into it Alicia and Paige were, but it doesn't last forever, the honeymoon period for the three-way relationship, because 1 year after forming this throuple, Jermain Defoe is papped in a car park. I quote from the tabloids, enjoying a 20-minute rendezvous with a mystery woman in the back seat of his motor. So good that he's finally got it.
Back at it.
Same car, Range Rover. Yeah. According to what the tabloids call an onlooker, which is presumably one of their hacks in camouflage with a long lens hiding in a bin, they said a jacket appeared to have been tied between the two headrests of the front seats. It was all very odd.
This is quite Stan Collymore.
What, dogging?
Dogging. Is it? They met in what? It was in the car park, right?
Yeah, it was sort of like go past the war, turn off the M62, go past the War Memorial, meet me in the car park.
Yeah.
But is dogging's when you're shagging publicly and other people are watching and they're pretending to walk a dog, right? That's where the name comes from.
Okay.
I think for it to be dogging, people got to be watching.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought dogging was just like you meeting up for.
Maybe it is.
Sex
I don't know. Is it
Check
like
out our Patreon episode. It's all explained there.
Yeah, we actually could do quite a good Patreon on dogging.
Yeah.
That was
We
actually
have.
not bad. Yeah. Have we?
Wimbledon.
Oh yeah, we went dogging. Yeah, maybe we now need to learn more about the art.
So what's the jacket do? What?
Hiding, because I guess they
Bit of
know
privacy.
So
there's a
they know
photographer.
there's people that just
Well, to be fair,
fucking move.
We don't
to
actually
the
know what
like-
they were doing in the back of the seat.
What are you
mean?
thinking? He's stamp collecting. They're
Yeah.
swapping. Yeah, swapping a penny
trading
red.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like football stickers. There used to be those meetups, swap shops, where you'd meet up with people and swap cards. He's just in the back seat with her, being like,
Signing her
"Got,
Defoe
got,
ones,
need." Yeah. You got the shiny. You got the Toronto FC shiny. It's the Drake edition. Yeah, I choose to believe it was something really innocent like that. But I think maybe he's just so used to being followed around by the Paps. It's weird. In this day and age, there aren't many footballers who are getting like this level of tabloid scrutiny.
Yeah, especially for like a retired footballer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just like,
quite
fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
I live my life.
happy to hypocritically talk about their stories on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're up to then. I think there's going to be more. All those like post-retirement ones, that's like an 18-month, 2-year period. It's just like bang, 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 bang. I learned he has broken up with, he's no longer with Alicia or Paige.
So he's single.
Yeah.
Single and ready to mingle.
Yeah, and ready to, marry 3 different women at once.
Yeah.
Which I guess brings us nicely to the sort of verdict. I think like good footballer, nice man, a lot of work for charity.
Yeah.
There's really only one area to focus on, which is like, is he a piece of shit with women or is he a hopeless romantic? Could he be both?
Column A, column B kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. I think he is a bit of a hopeless romantic in terms of like, I think he wants that.
He believes himself.
He believes that he wants to, have this dream wedding, this dream life, settle down. But then when it actually comes to it, I think he can't resist the lure of.
I just wonder if he's really sort of obsessed with this global brand thing. I'm a bit obsessed now. He faked the wedding. And he knows that the Paps are watching him in the car, and I just wonder if it's all kind of he's trying to keep himself. That's why you said why are the paparazzi following him? He's encouraging it.
Yeah.
You know,
he's
it's
like
all a part of
them.
his. If he doesn't have a scandal in the news because he's not shagging 4 women at once.
Yeah.
Well, you think he's calling it?
He's his own.
I've just seen Jermain
spy.
Defoe in a car park of a golf club.
And he looks.
It's a Seat magazine.
And his clothes look amazing.
Have you smelled his fragrance? Yeah, I actually quite like that idea.
That is the.
It's all a big.
There's a conspiracy.
Yeah, but I think he is also shagging.
Yeah.
I think with footballers, like the more you talk to people who know them, just from like an early age, they are surrounded by women throwing themselves at them. So they find it quite hard to wean off. Like, I was talking to someone connected to a football club who was saying that like the press team, you think the job of like the press team at a football club is to like do press, PR statements and stuff. Apparently 90% of it is hiding footballers' cheating scandals. Like every day a footballer's coming to you being like, yeah, I did this, didn't wear a condom. Apparently they have to lecture, they do like workshops being like, please wear a condom. So it's like, it is endemic in the game. He's not unusual. And it must be hard then to move to the sort of like family man role. There's my defense. Wrong un or not? Wrong un rating out of 10. We used to do these. And this episode feels quite early upshot in some ways. Just like simple capers.
I think not very.
Well, I need a score.
Yeah,
I get a score out of 10.
3.5.
3.5.
Good guy in half his life. bad guy in the other half. I
You
feel
wouldn't
like.
want your sister or
No.
mum to date him.
No, but it wouldn't
or
last very long.
friend.
So
If your friend was like, well, I'm seeing this guy I met on Bumble, Jermain Defoe, what do you think? I'd actually be really keen. I'd be like, yeah,
I met this
fucking
guy.
hell, marry him.
I met this guy in this weird app called
Jermain Defoe.
Yeah. He's the only one on there. I just kept swiping through pictures. The same bloke.
Just dick pics and Sunderland tickets. And his fragrance. Yeah, I think it's sub 5, isn't it? Wrong score. 3.5 feels right. Thanks a lot, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Come again. Zach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And if you enjoyed that episode and you've got friends who are fans of Neapolitan ice creams or global brands and apps engineered by Spurs legends, then please do share this episode with your friends or any Upshot episode. It really helps us grow our global brand. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you next time.